Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Kensthetic with the Kensthetics, and I'm here with you guys today with a new video. So today's video, I'm doing an updated eyebrow tutorial. If you guys watch my makeup videos, you guys know that I usually do my brows off camera, but I was like, let me get on here and give you guys an updated eyebrow routine. The last time I did an eyebrow routine was in 2018. It was like one of my first videos on my YouTube channel, so you guys can check that video out as well. Not much has changed. Some products have changed, but the overall concept of how I do my eyebrows is pretty much the same. So I just wanted to give you guys an updated eyebrow tutorial just so y'all can see what I be doing when I go off camera to do my eyebrows. So before we get started, make sure you guys subscribe, give this video a big thumbs up, and drop a comment down below. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. So these are my bare eyebrows, which we'll be working on today. I think they're pretty thin. They are uneven. They take a lot of work to, get them to look good. But it's okay because I'm going to show you guys exactly what I do. But I tweezed my brows a couple of days ago just to make sure they're well groomed. And now we're going to get into the routine. So the first thing I use is my Fenty Beauty Brow MVP wax stick. If you guys watch my makeup videos, y'all know how I feel about this wax stick. It is bae. But I'm just going to go ahead and lightly, emphasis on the lightly, brush my eyebrows here in an upward position. This wax stick is amazing because it helps to fluff out your eyebrows. So I have very thin brows, so I love this product because it fluffs my brows and makes my brows look fuller before I even put anything on it, to the point where I could even put this on its own. I love this wax stick because it doesn't show any product, it doesn't leave any residue, which I absolutely love. But this is how my eyebrow looks after I fluff it out, nice and full, and the hairs are in a direction that I want them to eventually fall in. So I think that's the key with using a wax stick. You want to make sure that you're basically prepping your brows to be how you want them to be before you add any additional product. So this is what my eyebrows look like after I went ahead and used the wax stick on both of them. They're way more fuller than they were before at the beginning. So I would highly recommend to try out this Brow MVP wax stick if you're looking for a product to help fluff out your eyebrows. This product is bae. Now I'm gonna go in with my holy grail, Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the shade dark brown. This has been my go-to eyebrow pencil, like my go-to. So I go ahead and I take it and I lightly, emphasis on a lightly once again, draw a line at the bottom of my eyebrow. The purpose of us drawing this line is to make sure we have a guide for what the bottom of our eyebrow is going to be. So I do 2 diagonal lines. So you guys are seeing me draw the first one in the upward position towards the top of my arch. And then I'm going to draw a second line from the top of my arch down to the tip of my eyebrow. So this is the first step when it comes to filling in your eyebrows. And then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other brow. This brow is a little tricky because, as you guys can see, I don't have the same amount of hair in the front. Like this one is just, it's a midget. Okay, so I go ahead and I extend the line past where my actual eyebrow hairs are, just to give the illusion that this brow is actually longer than it actually is, so that my eyebrows can be more even. So I'm doing the same thing again, drawing those 2 lines just to give us a guide at the bottom. And now we're going to go ahead and do the top. So with the top, I start halfway through my eyebrow. I don't want to start at the beginning because we don't want Nike checks, we don't want square boxes, we don't want none of that. So once again, I'm doing kind of 2 lines, one from the middle of my eyebrow to the top of my arch, and then one from the top of my arch down to the tip of the eyebrow. And we want those 2 lines at the tip of the eyebrow, the one from the bottom and the one from the top, to meet to give us a nice, sharp, precise point. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and draw a top line on the other eyebrow. This eyebrow, once again, is kind of tricky because the top of this eyebrow is more full than the first eyebrow. So I do my own thing here, and then at the end I'll go in and make revisions. But making these 2 lines are key to make sure that you have a guide to understand how your eyebrows are basically going to flow. So once I have those 2 lines, top and bottom, I go ahead and fill in my eyebrow. When I do this, I want to make sure that my wrist is turned inwards and I'm holding the pencil at an up angle. So when you're filling in your eyebrow, you don't want to one, have a heavy hand, and two, you want to make sure you're making hair-like strokes, because even though we're filling in our eyebrows with product, we still want it to look natural. So I take my time and I do small strokes to make sure that the strokes basically resemble like hairs. So I go in and I do that, and I use a light hand. If I need to go back in over it again, it's easier to add product rather than to remove product, if that makes sense. So with everything you're doing with your eyebrows, I will highly recommend to use a light hand with everything, because once you mess up, girl, it's harder to go back. So start off light, and if anything, you can add more product on it. So once I finish filling in the back of my eyebrow, I go towards the front. I never start from the front because I feel like if I start from the front, my hand is a little bit too heavy. So I start off halfway through my brow to the tip, which we previously did, and now we're filling in the front of the eyebrow. Once again, I'm drawing light hair-like strokes so that it can resemble and look more natural. Okay, so this step is super, I would say, easy, because I've been doing this for a while now. But I would say the key here is to make sure that you start off with the back of your eyebrows and then go back in to the front. So this is what my brow is looking like, nice and natural. And I just make sure that towards the back of my eyebrow it's more full. I don't have a lot of hair back there, so I kind of have to do a little bit more work when it comes to the back of my eyebrow. But as I'm going in, I'm making sure that my eyebrows are even. So here I needed to draw like more of a line at the top just to make it more full and to give it the look that I want it to have. So take your time, go back in and make changes as need be. But once again, make sure you start off with a little product, because you can always add more. So once I'm finished drawing in my eyebrows, I go in with my Fenty Beauty Concealer in the shade 410 and my Morphe M124 brush. This brush is amazing to carve out the eyebrows. Like, this is my go-to brush. So I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of the concealer on that Morphe brush. Just a little bit. Once again, it's easier to start off with a little bit of product and then add more, and we're going to carve out the eyebrow. So this is a step where if you make any mistakes, you can basically go ahead and clean it up. So I start off with a little concealer and I start off towards the back of my eyebrow once again, so that I'm not too heavy with the product towards the front, and then I'll go in with the excess concealer and carve out the bottom of my eyebrow towards the front. And once I finish putting the concealer in, I just run it down, because you don't want to have like a clump of concealer underneath your eyebrow. So I go ahead and blend that downwards, which also serves as the base whenever I do my eyeshadow. So this is how it looks after I carve out my eyebrow. And I went back in with a little bit more product, because I did, you know, we got a little bit of hairs here, but I don't want to take them off because I don't want my eyebrows to be too thin. So I go back in with a little bit more concealer and just go ahead and go over and once again blend that downwards, so that we don't have a whole clump of concealer under our eyebrows. So this is what my eyebrow looks like after I am done carving it out. I'm just going to go ahead and do the other one, and I'm going to fast forward just because it's basically the same thing. But I did want to give you guys a tip. I tweeze my eyebrows at home. I don't get them waxed. I don't get them threaded, because as you guys saw, I have very thin eyebrows. So I just have a tweezer, and whenever I see little hairs out of place, I go ahead and tweeze them out. But if you have thin eyebrows, I would recommend to give your eyebrows a rest from getting them done externally and just work on them at home. So when I'm done carving out my eyebrows, I take the extra concealer and just run it to the middle of my face, because we're going to go ahead and blend it out afterwards. But before I do that, I go ahead and make any revisions that need to be done after I carve out. So if the concealer goes too high, or I just find that some spots are a little bit not full, I'll go back in with my brow wiz and just make sure that my eyebrows are full to my liking. But once again, you can always go in and add more product, but once you put too much product, girl, it is hard to go back in and try to edit that. So I'm making sure our lines are straight. I'm making sure that everything looks hair-like. I'm making sure that all areas are covered and that we look good. Okay, so once I finish making the revisions to my eyebrows with my brow wiz, I go back in with the Morphe brush. I don't add any more product. I use the product that's left, and I just clean up the top of my eyebrows just to make sure that they look sleek. And this is what my brows are looking like once they are carved out. So after I carve out my eyebrows, and now it's time to blend that concealer that we carved out the eyebrows with. So I'm taking this Real Techniques brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and blend out all of the concealer that we use underneath the eyebrow as well as on top of the eyebrow just to make sure that we have a clean blended concealer base before we go in and set the concealer that we used for our eyebrows. I really love this brush. I'll have everything linked down below in case you guys are interested. So now it's time to set the concealer that we use for our eyebrows. So I'm using my Huda Beauty powder in the shade Kunafa. This is my favorite setting powder right now, but I'm just going in with that same brush and I'm applying a little bit of powder on top of everywhere that we put concealer, so onto the eyebrows as well as on top of the eyebrows, just to make sure that everything is nice and set. And this is what my eyebrows look like after I went in and set. And now I'm gonna go ahead and beat the rest of my face off camera. So this is what my face looks like afterwards. We looking real snatched or whatever, but this is the last step. I'm gonna go in with the Benefit Cosmetics 24-hour brow setter. This is a eyebrow setting gel and I absolutely love this product. So what I do is I go ahead and I just brush my hair upwards using the gel. This helps to allow the brows to last longer. So what I've been focusing on when it comes to my makeup is wearing my face for a longer period of time, but this brow gel is amazing. Like, it just snatches my brows up, it makes them last all day, they stay in place, they are not moving, they are here to stay. Okay, so this is basically it. This is my updated eyebrow routine. I hope this video helped you out, whether you are a bit beginner or if you're just a viewer who wants to see what I do to my eyebrows whenever I do makeup tutorials. I hope this video was helpful. Before you guys head out, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit that red subscribe button down below. Give this video a big thumbs up if you like this video and if you found it helpful. And drop a comment down below letting me know what products you guys use on your brows, because I'm very interested. Do you guys follow these steps? Do you guys do anything differently? Let me know. And I'll go ahead and put some videos on the screen so you guys can catch up on some more of my recent uploads. But that's it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. And until my next video, which will be on Wednesday, I'll see you guys later. Mwah. Love you.